Brian, my microphone sounds a little strange. Why do you sound strange? I don't know. Sounds like it's a little.
Mine sound all right?
You sound great. Yeah, I feel like I sound bad. Do I sound good?
No, I think
let's roll with
it. Sounds good with
okay.
mine.
Does it sound weird in your headphones?
Let me yawn. My jaw's been hurting me a lot too, so I've been dealing with the TMJ. Huh? I can't chew gum. My jaw's ready to fall off.
Oh my God.
I have to wear a mouthpiece and shit at night.
Oh,
I wasn't though for a very long time, and I broke my teeth, all that type of stuff.
Oh wow!
So I finally grinding my teeth at nighttime.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And it was causing all types of like headaches and stuff like that. It turned out to be like a toothache. I had to get a tooth pulled, but the TMJ was still very much prevalent, and I just thought it was that constantly. But I'm like, no, the nurse is like, listen, it's been a week. You're healed. Yeah. You need a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. All right. I went and I got one, and it worked. It works. I had to get one made this year, this month, so that's going to be fun.
Get used to it after a couple of days.
It's better than having, I tell you what, I put it in my mouth and I go to bed. That doesn't really bother me. I'm a nose breather at night on my back.
I'm not. That's my worst thing in the world. I'm a mouth breather. I hate it.
Are you clogged up at nighttime?
Not really, but like when this is what happens when the seasons change and we're going from air conditioning or heat, and it's like the first couple sleeps, I get sick every time because I'm a mouth breather. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
So
I hear that. The dust is just crawling in your mouth. The mice are falling in there.
Oh yeah,
the spiders. All right, buddy. What's ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
I ring the bell. Yeah. All right, ding ding. Welcome to DiMattia's Food Fight Podcast, brought to you by Key Ford of Exeter, connecting the community one food fight at a time. I'm your host, Brian DiMattia. We're here in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania at Conversion Works Media inside the studios. I'm here with my guest today, Mando Sallavanti. See, your first name is now your nickname, so we put money in the front.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
That's
Sallavanti. Mando, welcome to Food Fight, man. I'm glad you're here.
My man, so pumped to be here. Fired up for today.
We've been trying to schedule with each other's time to get here, and it was great. I got the new yearly schedule, and I'm like, yo, Mando, I have this date. Perfect. I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was a food fight trying to get here. Just the schedule alone,
It definitely was. How was the food fight drive? Where's your new place?
Our new place, we're in Scranton, by Lake Scranton.
That's right.
So 20 minutes to get here. Not bad.
Highway's good.
Yeah.
As long as it's clean.
Easy.
Beautiful.
Easy.
New home, by the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You and your wife. Absolutely fantastic. Congratulations.
So pumped, man.
Yeah.
Like, so pumped.
I saw it. I'm like, whoo. That's the kind of shit that motivates people sometimes too. You know what I mean? And things don't come easy.
No.
And we're going to get into that in a little while.
That's why I share so much of my story though, man, because like growing up in this area, I think so many people, you see one way to do things and you don't see examples of like, what can I look up to? And the right people see it as motivation. And I think too many people sometimes see it as jealousy or envy or bragging, right? Mm-hmm. But to have those good examples, and you've become this, I think, locally as well. So kudos to you as we get started here, because what you're doing with this whole production, has that really been done in this area by many people? I don't think so, right? And that's amazing. So kudos to you, man.
I appreciate that. But it goes back to both of us, consistency.
Yes.
Failures. Troubles.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost stopped doing this show more than once. Mm-hmm. I would wake up on days of recording, right?
Yeah.
Great example. Maybe 6 months ago, in the summertime, I was like, man, I keep investing. I keep doing this. I keep doing that. And there was no signs of people giving me any negative feedback. I mean, there was nothing. Everything was going really well.
Yeah.
It was inside my own head with it.
Right.
Is it worth it? Do I want to continue doing it? Does anybody even give a shit? Right? Then I come in for a recording. I have my friend Jocka Bird on. She works for the Ronald McDonald House.
Okay.
Before that, remember Grimace? Her brother, they bought the big Grimace outfit. No. Grimace was sitting there. We did a food review with Grimace. It was great. It was a lot of fun, right? But I was feeling down that day. I was feeling sorry for myself that day. I wanted to hold it up. That was the day I was going to quit. I swear to God, that was the day. I'm like, I'm going to do these 2 recordings, and I'm going to tell Frank I'm done. So that's where my morning was that day. I think I shared that with you that day.
Yeah.
And so we do the recording with Jocka, and talk about being fucking humbled. The way her attitude was, how positive she was, what she went through, and then what the Ronald McDonald House actually does for people, the way they help people. I was just like, man, I got to relax. So when she left, I got a text message from somebody that wanted to help with the show. I was just like, wow, people do care.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that was enough motivation for me to be like, let's keep fighting.
Yeah.
I can't quit now.
So think about this, right? How many people, they start something and they're going. They hit that point that you hit. And there's like this image of the guy who has the pickaxe and he's going towards the diamonds. And I think everybody who's listening probably has seen some variation of this online. He's going towards the diamonds. He's got the pickaxe. And all of a sudden on the top, he turns around and you see there's like this little ounce of dirt right before the diamonds. And then on the bottom, you see the other picture of the guy that kept going and he's like having a party with all the diamonds he just found. So often that's what happens when people start a podcast, start a business. They're working at a job as an employee even, and right before their big break comes there, you just got to see it through.
Consistency. Always comes back to that, whether it's a fitness goal, a financial goal, a hobby goal. Even in jiu-jitsu, there's times where you're right there for the choke, but you can't see. Say you get a rear naked choke on somebody, and you can't see their hand right by their shoulder, getting ready to tap, because all you have to do is just one extra second. Sometimes they're quick. Sometimes they take 7-8 seconds to get their breath out of them, right? And then they're getting ready to tap. Then you let go, and they're like, whew, new life for them. Because you can't see that. There's ways to tell when the choke is on, bad or good. And then you learn that in jiu-jitsu just like in life.
Yeah.
Just like in life. Tell my listeners what exactly you do in the world. Because I know.
What do I do?
What do you do in the world?
I do everything. So
break it down for me, Mando.
Seriously, though, to formally introduce myself to the listeners, I'm Mando Sallavanti. I'm the founder of Freedom Path Wealth. We're a financial planning firm primarily working with high-earning W-2 salespeople. We also do work with business owners. And basically, the phrase that me and my team live by, that I live by, is spend it like you mean it. So what does that mean? Everyone's heard the phrase, say it like you mean it. Spend it like you mean it. Here's our take on that. In financial services, I think that my industry as a whole does a very good job talking about how do you invest your money? How do you accumulate it? How do you build up this nest egg? You know what they don't talk about? What do you do when you want to spend it? What's your strategy to actually live an amazing life, not just in the future, but today as well? So we help our clients with things like, how do you take that extra vacation without compromising your future? When you do want to get to that point that you retire, how do you actually spend the money, right? So that's what we do in that. I'm also, I'm a real estate investor myself. Additionally, outside of that, I also do consulting and coach other financial advisors on how they could grow their business more rapidly. And I've been blessed to have amazing mentors and coaches that I've grown my business to a great point. We're nowhere near where we want to be, but it's fun to pay that forward in some of my spare time as well.
Definitely. We had a meeting once. So
yeah.
Let's talk about your growth, because was that your first job? When I came up there? Where was it again?
Yeah. That's where I'm running my business still. So
awesome.
We're affiliated with Mass Mutual. That's
okay, so it's the same
my
person.
office is up there in Music. Yep.
I remember coming up there. Man, that was some time ago.
That had to be 2021 or 2022, Brian. That was a while ago.
It was. That's when I started losing money in the stock market by not knowing what I was doing. It was like Robinhood should be illegal. Am I right? It's good for the right people. It's not good for the...
Here's what I'll tell you. Robinhood, I think, gives a false sense of confidence to many people when it comes to money, because what they've done amazing is they've democratized investing. If you go back 20 years, 30 years, the only way you could buy stocks or get into the market is through a stockbroker, which is like your traditional Wolf of Wall Street call centers that you would see like in that movie, people calling up like, hey, you want to buy this stock? Like that's the only...
How did that work? So before everything like that, let's stop. I'm so dying of curiosity about that. So let's go back 30 years. Go back to Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
It's the 80s, 90s.
Exactly.
I call you up, right? Mando, I want to invest in ABC stock. Buy me 10 shares. Okay. So you took my order.
Yeah.
What's next?
So basically what happened was the stockbrokers, and why so many of them were so rich and so wealthy on Wall Street, was because you call me, you want to buy XYZ stock. The broker, when that trade goes through, gets a pretty hefty commission on top of that. So to even like make your money back, you had to pretty much make a return just to break even. And then your real return was everything on top of that. So on one hand, bad for the consumer because you're paying high commissions to trade a stock. And also there's not readily available information. So like the stockbrokers were the only ones that really had the information, because think about the world. There wasn't social media. Like we didn't have the internet like we do today. So information traveled much slower. So it was actually on the stockbrokers way more to know, like, what do I invest in? Who do you invest in? Stuff like that. And they got compensated for it. On another hand, it was good for the investor, because think about what the bad part of that commission is what the client is paying. What the good part of it was, the client pretty much has to know, if I'm going to invest in something, it will be for a long time, or else it's not worth paying a commission for that. So there was that positive to it. There's a give and take to everything, right? But that is how it worked.
Okay. How did the actual, like, when do I come pay you? When do you buy the stock? That's what I'm interested.
When the person buys the stock,
yeah,
the commission just comes off their total investment. So say they're going to buy $10,000 of a stock, the commission comes off that, or they could choose, hey, I want to buy net 10,000. They would pay the commission on top.
What I'm really asking is, because there was no way to put the orders in the way they do now.
Yeah.
So I call you. We're a new customer. I'm a new customer for you.
Yeah.
How do you know? How do you trust me? Do you buy it before I bring you do I have to come bring you the money?
I believe that's how it worked. I don't know for sure, but it was either like you have to bring a check or cashier's check, or back then you probably could use cash, like bring your cash to your stockbroker. Today you can't, because there's like know your consumer rules, and there's like everything has to be sourced through a bank account. But you probably could like bring cash to a stockbroker.
What an interesting time to be alive.
Yeah, right.
I wish I was a 70s guy, like a 70s like teenager. Get into that disco era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was about 21, 22. And I was fooling around with the stock market. But real quick with Robinhood, it gives people access to it quickly, but that's the problem.
It's
9 out of 10 people need
a double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword. Like I remember when I finally switched over to Schwab. Schwab was like, "Oh, make a deposit. You'll see your money tomorrow." It gives you time to think about it. It's just like gambling now in the state and everywhere in the country. It's too accessible.
Here's the real problem. Most people have only seen an up stock market in their entire life. We're here in 2026. We had a down market in 2022. We've had some like flashes of a down market last year in 2025. There's the tariffs that get announced, and there was a temporary 10-ish% downturn, 15-ish%, but we gained it right back. Even in 2020, when we had the pandemic and there was a crash in the market, which was like 50%, we gained it all back the same year. So take those out. You go back to the great financial crisis, 2008, 2009. Since then, the market has basically been up. So anybody who's, in their mid 30s and younger, they've only seen an up stock market. So things like Robinhood, while they're great, they go to things like this and think I could just throw darts at the wall and I'm going to pick stocks and do great for myself. But ultimately, they haven't even seen what a bad market looks like. I haven't even really seen what it looks like as an advisor, because I'm 27 going on 28. I've been in this business 6 years, but history shows this. And for me, what's been very insightful is like looking at these past recessions and the impact they do have.
Yeah. It was funny when all the tariffs started coming around and all the people on social media are like, I just lost all my retirement funds. Oh, you sold that? It's all drama. Like you didn't lose anything. It's down today, but you lose it when you sell it.
I always say
it's the scroll pass. I'm like, oh, God,
my thing is always this, like, what are you buying today? Like what you lost it. So what are you buying?
Right.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, okay, so you're selling your account. Are you buying a boat? Are you buying a new house? Are you like buying some Pokemon collection? Like the
pizza?
Logan Paul card? Like, I don't know.
How much is that card worth?
It's in auction right
3-4
now.
million, right?
It's going to be more than that. When he bought it, it was almost $6 million.
He was wearing it to the ring when he was wrestling.
Yeah. So that's in auction right now. I think the auction is like up over $6 million, and there's still time left in it.
It's got that more prestige in it too, with him being around too.
Yeah. And now he's full time with WWE, so his stature is only going to go up even more.
I give him credit. He's extremely
can't knock it.
Athletic.
You can't knock it.
I respect both of their hustles, but there's some controversy with both of them as well, which with everybody. But Prime is not a hydration drink. That's a real food fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. That doesn't hydrate you, right? If I'm sweating my ass off, give me a Prime. There's no sugar. There's no carbohydrates. Just potassium. All right, great. I won't have a cramp. I'm already done. I'm already past that. Give me some Gatorade or give me some, or if you don't want to drink the Gatorade because of the dyes or whatever, I don't care. I used to put a lot of different shit in my body. I don't care about red dye, whatever the fucking number is, right? I care about the sugar and the carbs while I still have another hour of jiu-jitsu left.
How about Element? You ever have Element? Elementy?
Yes.
Element.
Yes.
I love that stuff.
I can taste the sodium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that though, because I'm like, oh, it's doing something.
That's
you know
what
what I
need
mean?
in the middle of a workout. So I used to drink Gatorade when I wasn't working out at all. I never thought about it. And I think about it now. I'm like, yeah, it was a lot of carbs, but think about the sodium I was putting in my body.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You don't taste it in the Gatorade either. It's so delicious. What's your favorite? We were talking about this with Gianna. What's your favorite color? Not flavor, right, Brian?
My
favorite color. What's your favorite color Gatorade?
Red Gatorade.
I can't do the fruit punch anymore, man. Right. I can't do it.
I haven't drank it in a while, but top 3, fruit punch. Number 2, purple Riptide Rush.
Oh yes, yes. Riptide Rush is really good.
Number 3, light blue Glacier Freeze.
That's good too.
That's the top 3.
Yeah, mine's orange.
That's 4 for me. That's
orange is. It used to be lemon lime. Now orange is taking the top, and I had to. It's going through a little bit of a sugar rush lately. Soda, Coca-Cola's in the glass bottles. I'm addicted to them, right?
Yeah.
But I spend the weekend. I'll drink like 6 or 7 of them. So this is where the madness came to an end, Mando. All right. The other night, I'm home. I'm relaxing, and I just want a little bit of like carbonation in my mouth. Right. I want dry mouth. I need something to drink. Yeah. Only water in the house on purpose. I'm like, so I'm going through it. 11:30, going through it. You know what I order? I order a fucking DoorDash McDonald's.
Oh, I was going to say not a DoorDash.
I get a Coke and a double cheeseburger and a fry. The food was terrible. The Coke was fantastic. $20 for that order. That's when I said to myself, just buy some fucking diet soda and leave it in the fridge. So when you get your craving, it's in there. So been doing that for the last couple of weeks and it's been working.
There you go.
Oh, bro, when the shame of ordering the DoorDash at 11:30 at the 24-hour McDonald's
and
on the street.
Now you're outing yourself to everybody.
I am outing myself. I deserve to be out in it. I deserve to be out. I couldn't believe it. That won't make the food fight page. But
you're scarring yourself so next time you don't do it. Oh my God.
$20 Coke.
Yeah.
It was good though.
Yeah.
They get the good Coke.
Fountain soda.
They get the good Coke.
Fountain soda.
So everyone that's listening, I didn't mention it yet, but we grew up in the same town.
We did.
We are a couple old Forge fellas.
Old Forge, baby.
Happens to be the best town in the world.
I love it, man.
Right, Brian?
Sure, I love it.
Brian's not an old Forger, but he knows the answer to the question.
Yeah.
If you ask 10 out of 10 people, maybe one will say, agree with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
So we are almost 20 years apart.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But, the town at one point, it's always the same. It's different, but it's always the same.
Yeah.
Am I right?
If you're from Old Forge, that's like the best way I could even describe it, because you can't describe Old Forge without being there and experiencing the people. And like, I always used to say a Friday night football game is like the best just thing to go to. Go get pizza, go to a Friday night football game. That will show you what Old Forge is. Unfortunately, our football team has been down last few years, you know what I mean? But they'll be back, I'm sure, at some point. And every town goes through their ebbs and flows with that. Mm-hmm. But, man, I remember 15 years, crazy. It's now almost 15 years ago when I was in high school playing football, like 2013. And my first experience to, like, what it meant to be from Old Forge and how much pride everyone takes in it. And then I went to college and played football, and I realized that wasn't normal. And not even about football, but just like where you're from in general. As I met people from other towns in PA, in Jersey, in Maryland, in New York, they don't take pride in where they're from like people where we do.
Some people mock their hometowns.
Yeah.
They're embarrassed by their hometowns.
More people than not.
I stick up for Old Forge because you know why? It's my job. It's our job to stick up for our town.
There's something to be said about it meaning something about where you're from. Like it means something to be from there to me. And I think most people who are, it means something to them.
When people, yes, I completely agree. I'm excited to even say it. Like when people rip into the town, I get fired up. Something inside me is be like, the defense comes up. I have to defend. I have to protect the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when they get the pizza people. Or where in town did you have it from? Oh, I haven't had any pizza from Old Forge, but it sucks. Fuck off.
Yeah.
The fuck you talking about?
Right.
Jesus Christ. I can't stand that shit.
I mean,
I like pizza everywhere.
right.
You know what I mean? But I swear, I think there's a secret society of people who secretly, publicly hate Old Forge pizza, but they're eating it under their covers in their bed at night time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're there with the Old Forge pizza. They're there with they always say it looks like Lardone's or high school pizza or cafeteria pizza. They're probably in bed with that too.
I have never, and this is not just to say it, like I've never had a cut of pizza in Old Forge. I was about to say a slice. See what I did there? I was about to
come get us.
I know, right?
Yeah. Angelo might have cameras in all his jars of sauce to watch over me.
Little one right there.
You tried sweet sauce before?
I have, and I need to.
It's coming. I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a couple.
Cool.
Couple things to go home. It's delicious.
But I have never had a cut of pizza in Old Forge that I have honestly been like, wow, I don't like that.
Yeah. Like,
and,
oh
and
my
it's,
God.
And
this
it's
is
not
gross.
even just to say that. I haven't.
Right.
I've had pizza in other places that I have not liked. And I'm like, I will never eat that again. But every place in Old Forge is at least like above average at a minimum. And you could easily go back again and not be mad that you got the pizza.
No, I just had Anthony's for the first time.
No way.
I swear to God, like last month.
Oh man.
Review blew up.
It's so
It
good.
it's my might be my new favorite.
They've got
Maybe. It was so good.
I haven't had this in a while, but they've got that thin crust pizza. I don't know if they still
I have to get. No, they do.
So
People recommend the hell out of that.
Very good.
So I'm going to go back and do that with half shrimp and pepper.
I think that might be their best one.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how that's going to be. Okay, I want you to know that's a thin pizza. Did you know that?
Yeah, I do.
That blew my mind a few months ago. We were in there making. I go, what do you mean you do a thin pizza? So it was just half of their dough.
Yeah.
Half of their dough, and we did that. Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear Anthony's has really, really good thin crust pizza. Think about you didn't you've experienced were you around? I mean, you were around, but you were younger though. Fat Boys, you might not have been around.
I was a little too young.
How long has CVS been there for?
CVS came when I was a kid. Like I remember. Like when Cherries.
2002, 2003.
Like Cherries was there when I was a kid.
Remember Subway came into Cherries for a quick minute?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first Subway in the area.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. But it was like very brief memory. So I must have been young.
I was going to Sonny's, Anthony's. Sonny's used to be a diner next to Anthony's called Sonny's. Fantastic.
Yeah.
$5 lunch no matter what you got. It was great. But across the street is a CVS now. But it was Cherry's bookstore.
Right.
Godfather's closed there. TP Electronics.
Yeah.
TP Electronics, Cherry's, Godfather's, and Zelmi's Eye Care.
Yeah.
And then the Magistrate building. They built that. That was there for like 15 years and they wrecked that. It was a beautiful brick building. Remember that?
I don't remember that one.
It was beautiful. Like a beautiful, like a red brick building. It was gorgeous. It was the Magistrate building.
Yeah.
Magistrate Giulio was pretty much there. Then they knocked that. Well, they knocked everything down. Then next door was the other building where Fat Boy's Pizza was when I was younger. Then Tallarico's Pizza. And then right next on the end was the Giovanni's Drugstore.
Okay.
And in the back was the Joint, where all the nonprofit gambling went through in town. You know what I mean? So that was that whole block. And now it's just fucking CVS in a big parking lot with fantastic Doolies right behind there. Shout out to Chris. Love Doolies.
Love Doolies.
Absolutely love
awesome
Doolies.
Wing bites.
Man,
might be my favorite ever.
Food's so good there. You know what's a shame? The prices are up for everything. Remember Clam Night there?
I do.
Clam Night was good.
I do.
Right, you ever think of go to Doolies back in the day? Or still?
Yeah, but never for clams.
Clam Night.
Wings,
We're going back.
Once upon a time.
We're going back.
When I worked
Wednesday, maybe Wednesday night was Clam Nights.
I used to jump in there every once in a while when I worked in dialysis. And
Yeah, food's good there. It's
right
a
there.
great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Great atmosphere. Great Irish bar right in the middle of town.
Dooley's was the spot for growing up. We would have basketball games. And then after our basketball games, which would be 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all our parents bring us to Dooley's, wings every time after.
They're in the corner. You're in the corner.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what
Get
it was.
away from us. I loved it.
I think every parent in Old Forge has ever lived that exact scene.
And that'd be all the pizza places. I miss Gingerelli's. We can't talk about Old Forge without talking about Gingerelli's pizza.
Man.
I mean, that's been closed for over 10 years. My whole recovery time, that has been closed for, plus some more. And there's always flirting with it about it being reopened. At least the family could mourn now. It's so fucking sad.
Tragedy, man.
It is. It's just
Tragedy.
it's to happen to have to happen in town, and then years later, they find everything else out. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
I remember like yesterday when everything like first happened too. And it's there's no other words to put to it than tragedy.
It is. It is. And then they relive it a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's never going to go away. And that building's just sitting there, the history of that. And, maybe someday the family will want to reopen it. There was a sign for liquor in the window. There was a opportunity, but it just never come through yet. But when the main thing happens, it'll happen. There's a lot of new businesses in town.
Yeah.
Well, Forge is just stacking it up. They did a beautiful job with the old Blockbuster building. Blockbuster.
What's that? Fico's over there.
Fico's Coffee, and then there's a deli. There's not a deli, excuse me. There's a bakery shop
Pastry
right next
shop,
to
yeah.
it there. I have to go visit those two places. Then there's a hair salon. There's Domino's has been there forever. Yeah. Domino's quietly living in Old Forge, rent free in everyone's head. You know what I mean? Then there's the laundry mat, but then there's the supermarket back there.
Yeah.
So I remember that as in Salacos. I used to live right up. I literally lived half a block away on George Street there.
Yeah.
So you get in Salacos. Then it was Bilo's supermarket for a while. You might not have even been born. Bilo. In Salacos, Bilo. Then it was Rossi's.
I remember Rossi's. That was like my childhood going into Rossi's.
Then it was Rossi's, and it just didn't seem to transfer over from Rossi's being. So Rossi's is back and flourishing. They're fantastic. But that's how they were in the beginning. They were in the smaller place where the eye care place is on Main Street. That's where Rossi's original building was. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
So across the street from Rami Gad's Gorilla Nutrition, right?
Yep.
So the Rami. Across the street is Ben Damiano's. That was Rossi's Market. That was Rossi's Market. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I think through the whole town, Mando.
Yeah.
And then Largo's was Cap's gas station forever.
I remember that.
Then it was the UPS. Then it was the UPS store for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And they
seriously, it was. Yeah.
So they have a cheesesteak place in town, and then there's always China Star's been there forever, but there's no New York style places. There was only one, and it was Antonio's. You weren't around for Antonio's either. I don't think you weren't.
Well, remember.
Antonio's in the corner.
Do you remember Cicchetti's, which had they had a little bit of a run with New York style pizza?
I grew up. I was 17, but we used to hang out in the building right next door. It used to be like the pool table and the bars there.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy shit going on there when you have 25, 30 kids from the neighborhood with no supervision.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. Food was good though.
They did have, put it this way,
unique pizza.
When I was growing up, they had it. That was a staple in the birthday party pizza rotation.
I believe it. They had a good food. That was a lot. Oh man, that's a long time ago. There seems to be something brewing in that place right now.
Oh yeah.
It seems like, I think something's coming back. I drove by the other day. But down in Wilkes-Barre, by Good Tree MMA Wilkes-Barre, there's a little place called Little Mexico. They closed. They sold out or something like that. But they're bringing in a chicken place, a sod hot chicken. So the chicken wars in northeastern Pennsylvania have begun.
Okay.
You got Sham, right?
We just had Shams for the first time yesterday.
It's so good.
Yeah. For $4, you could just get the sandwich by itself.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, $10.
I said I'm going to go there once a week.
$10. They call it a slider. Yeah. I got the first review I did really well. It was a $10. It was French fries and the big sandwich. $10. So this wasn't a slider, man. This is a big ass piece of chicken. Considering prices now, but Shams is very good. Now, do they have both locations open or just the one?
There's another one?
Well, the original one was...
the one in the gas station. I don't know if it's still in the gas station now.
Hopefully not.
They have the one...
right around the block on Market Street. Yeah, right. That one's one deli I never got to experience.
You never went to Dagwoods?
No, I never went to Dagwoods.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yep. Maybe someday, Oh, God, but the chicken wars are beginning. There's Mike's Hot Chicken on Wyoming Avenue getting ready to open. They just put the sign up. He has yet to answer any of my questions about when he's opening. Keep tagging me, bro.
They don't answer anything.
Keep tagging me, but not answering me. I don't understand it. All right? I might have to go to Assad. So Assad Hot Chicken is opening up literally 2 spots from the gym.
Okay.
Good Trees here, and then 2 stores down is going to be Assad Hot Chicken. It was the one night there. I kept on seeing big equipment get dropped off and left outside overnight.
Right.
Over and over and over. I'm like, someone's opening up something. I originally thought it was a Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
But it's not. So I finally got, one guy was out there, I go, what's going on here? Oh, chicken. I'm like, I hope it's not fucking like Crown Royal or fried chicken, but it's it's the hot chicken places.
Good stuff.
So I was going to hopefully bring in new business into the plaza. And there's also a nail salon right next door opening up. So bring in more parents, more people. They'll see the gym. Hopefully they get done eating their chicken and they're like, I want to work this off and do some jiu-jitsu. Are you a fan of that kind of chicken?
I'm sure that'll happen. Yeah, dude. How are you not?
Yeah,
How is anybody not? Let's be real. Let's be real. I mean, if you're a vegetarian, I get it. But
yeah.
Everyone else,
for sure.
Come on.
Yeah, I was up captains at Harvey's Lake. What a beautiful spot.
I did see that actually. That looked awesome.
Actually, beautiful spot. Chef David, he made chicken tenders. And they were just, like, you think, okay, chicken tenders, no big deal. Oh, they were a big deal. They were incredible. His food, I don't know if you ever get a chance to eat at a Ron's, where Colaruso's 2.0 is.
I know
what I'm talking about.
But I haven't went, no.
Yeah. So that's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
So Colaruso's is 2.0's in there. Were they shut down for a while, Colaruso's? I just see them like we're open again.
Well, I think they're on vacation. That was why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good for them. I need a vacation. You know what I mean? We're going to get to some of your vacations in a minute. I know you were in Italy last year.
That was actually Italy. Now was back in 2022. We are going. I know, man. That's where we got engaged in 2022.
That's right.
And
we're gonna get back to that.
We are actually going back to Italy in April, so I'm excited about that.
Fantastic. That's on my Coliseum's on my bucket list to see that. Yeah. I want to see that. It's amazing. All right. So high school, growing up in town, you're a big football player. You got a scholarship to Kings.
I didn't get a scholarship. So I went to East Stroudsburg University.
That's correct. Please take us through your college.
Yeah. So I went to East Stroudsburg University. I was a pre-med student. So like my dad, Brian, you know my dad. He's doctor in town.
You flipped the script.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr.
Like
Mando.
my nickname is Doc by all my friends. If I called my best friend Jarrett right now, there's a good chance he answers the phone and he says, "What's up, Doc?" Like just like that. Like that's just,
I hear you.
You know? So anyways, that was the narrative in my life. I go to East Stroudsburg playing football. I'm pre-med. I fail a couple classes, which my whole life I was a great student. So that was totally out of character.
What happened there?
I was partying too much, man.
Say no more.
Just like football.
You didn't give it the focus that it deserved.
I didn't give school focus, and football was completely my focus. But I was redshirting because we had a few linebackers on the team at East Stroudsburg who were returning all conference players, and they were juniors. So I'm obviously not going to play over these guys. Second, I'm a freshman, and the coaches are looking at it like, okay, and I was second string, which is important context. So I'm the backup, but I'm not playing because I'm a freshman and they want to redshirt me to have my extra year of eligibility. Understandably so, looking back. Me, I'm a punk college kid. Like, I can't get why these coaches won't get me. And I put all the blame on them. I started lashing out. School didn't do good. Lashing out in a way of like self-sabotage, I would say, which I think the struggles with football caused me to even do worse with school, quite frankly. I transferred back to Kings because I told myself, you know what? If I'm closer to home, my parents will help keep me in line and hold me accountable, number one. Number two, I'll play football there. And I was recruited by mainly Division II schools, so I know going back to a Division III, there was a high likelihood I was going to start immediately and do very well. And I'm like, football will be great. I just want to have fun again. I just want to like get myself together. And that was the journey to come back to Kings.
How fast did it take you to get burned out at East Stroudsburg? 1 semester?
It was 1 semester.
No shit.
I failed 2 of my classes, and the straw that broke the camel's back was this. And this was a dumb decision by me. I remember it was our last game. So in college, at East Stroudsburg, we had cuts on the team. Like they brought in 140 kids, 85 made the team. I made the team, and I didn't have a scholarship. There were kids with scholarships that got cut. So if I stayed, I probably would have got a scholarship that next year, if not the year after, when I would have been starting for sure by my redshirt sophomore year. But I was on the travel team. So even on those 85 kids, all 85 do not travel. Usually it's something like 50 actually like go to the away games and like travel with the team. So I was on the travel team all year. I traveled to every game. The last game, I pretty much made my mind up. I was leaving and I'm transferring because things were spiraling with school. I knew I was failing some classes. I knew I needed to get my act together. I wasn't happy, partying way too much, like I said. And I made up some stupid excuse to my coach, and because the game was like 7 hours away. We had to go like 2 days early. And I'm like, Coach, I can't go because of blah, blah, blah. And I made something up. Like, it was stupid. It really was. And then he put me on blast in front of the whole team.
What do you do?
Like, screamed at me and like like cursed me out in front of the whole team. And I just walked off the field that day, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely done here. Like I didn't know I was transferring anywhere yet, but I had it in my mind. Like, I think I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. And then that was just like, I'm done.
Let's talk about that for a second. How did it make you feel that he put you on blast? Do you feel like you deserved it? You feel like he was overreaching should have been done privately? Because it actually, my initial thought right now, because I'm a coach, is that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're 19, 18?
I was 18.
You're a kid. I get we're 18 and we're adults, but you're a kid. We're still a kid at 18, 19 in college. Like, we didn't grow up yet. What's your opinion? How did it make you feel?
Looking back, I think I could have handled it better, because I also take accountability for the fact of, I don't want to miss a couple days of hanging out with my friends to go travel to a game and sit on the bench and not play because they're redshirting me anyways. When in reality, my attitude should have been, how grateful am I at a Division II school in the best football conference in the country, being second string on the travel team, that my coaches think highly enough of me to be on that travel team and be there even though they know they're not playing me. That's what I should have been thinking. On the other hand, he should have said something to me in private. He should have pulled me aside and said, look, if this is a real thing, I need you to tell me, but I don't think it is. I think the world of you as a young man, and I think you have all this potential, and here's why you need to cut the shit. Come up to the trip, get over it, and this is why, and this is what I see for your future. As a leader, and now in business, I lead people. I lead my clients. I lead my team, who are my employees and my staff. It is so important for me, for them to understand the vision of where I see myself going, where I see the business going, and how their vision fits within that. I had no comprehension of how my vision as a football player and young man and what I wanted for my life fit within the vision of this coach and within the vision of this program. That's ultimately what led to the breakdown.
Okay. Do you feel like, did they ever explain that to you? Like when you first got recruited and everything like that? Did you know that? You just didn't care because you weren't playing? Because it was just so...
So there was things in my recruiting process that were, I wouldn't say lied about, but information was left out. I didn't know there was 3 all-conference linebackers that were starting for them. Did I ever explicitly ask them? No. But I was clear with them about, hey, I'm coming pre-med. I plan to only be here 4 years. I'm not staying 5 years, because pre-med, for anyone that doesn't know this, you go 4 years and then you typically have like a 3-year track after, and then you get into, I don't know if they're rotations or whatever they're called, but because I stopped that track, so I don't even know the rest of it. But it's a 7-year like undergrad and then like post-grad school.
If you watch Grey's Anatomy, you probably get the answer to those questions.
Probably. So I made that known, and then when they wanted to redshirt me, I was like just dumbfounded. I'm like, I told you that I'm not staying for the 5th year. Meanwhile, I did end up staying in college 5 years because I went a different path. But that was a big point of contentiousness. There was never really communication on that, and I think that kind of was the wedge that started everything.
Genoa Wholesale Foods, supplying quality since 1947. For over 75 years, Genoa Wholesale Foods has been your trusted partner for premium food supplies. Specializing in services to pizzerias, Genoa also caters to restaurants, bakeries, delis, and bars throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. They proudly offer a blend of both private label and national brands, helping you find the perfect products to meet your restaurant needs. With local deliveries and the care of a family-owned business, they are committed to making your success their priority. Choose Genoa Wholesale Foods for reliable, top-quality restaurant supplies that keep your business running smoothly. Genoa Wholesale Foods, locally owned and operated for 3 generations. Call Genoa today at 570-823-6142 or visit them online at www.genoafoods.com. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. You feel a little betrayal in your head, and then your head's not in it already. Mm-hmm. So now you're picking everything out. Well, they did this. They did this. They did this. I didn't do this. Well,
but I believe in responsibility. Like, I could have handled that situation way better.
You learned from that.
Yeah, there was a lot that came from it. And I will tell you, it's actually I don't have many regrets. That's actually one of my regrets in life. Now, on the other hand, I can give you 7 or 8 things that waterfalled from that decision for the better that lead up to me being on this podcast with you right now today, that I'm like, hey, everything does happen for a reason. We can't change the past, but I do look back sometimes and it is a regret of mine because it's out of character, but I think it helped me build the character I now have.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. You go there and you learned you learned what type of person that you could become and the type of person that you have become. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that was out of character for you. Like, see, for me and my bad habits that I picked up all those years ago, it was so out of character for me. Like eating the Adderall coming into an animal because everything was going 1,000 miles an hour. When you're going slow, you can realize what's going on. When you're going 1,000 miles an hour and you're spiraling, you caught yourself, and within 6-7 months, you caught yourself. You're like, I got to go back home. This is fucking terrible. I'm going to destroy myself. And a lot of people don't catch that. You caught yours in time. I eventually caught mine. A lot of people have gotten second chances, third chances. But I always say the same thing, Mando. My regrets and my faults have made me the man that I am today.
You're always running from something or you're running to something. In that moment, I was running from something. And I needed to face hardship in my life for the first time. Maybe first time, probably not, but we'll just call it that.
I know what you mean.
I needed to face hardship. I needed to just see what I was made of, quite frankly. One of the things I love about working out and hitting like a heavy workout is I could wake up and go to that gym. And some days you just got to see if you still got it and see what you're made of, right? Well, at that point in time, I didn't want to face that in my life. And I ran from that. And in my career now, I remind myself of this all the time. Am I running from something or am I running towards something? Very big difference.
Huge difference. I completely agree. It's good advice. It's good advice. So now you're back home. You're at Kings. I drive by that stadium all the time. And I think about you. I'm like, this pops in my head all the time. And so you're at Kings, transferred back there. Now you got football. And you have, did you decide that you're not doing pre-med at this time?
I actually stuck with it when I went there.
Okay.
So I stuck with pre-med. I did get my grades up too. So the best coach I have ever had, his name is Coach Zabrowski. And I'm going to send him this clip. So Coach, I love you. I know you're watching this because I sent it to you. But you did the best thing, one of the best things anyone's done for me. So when I got to Kings, Brian, me and Coach Zabrowski battled. Like I couldn't stand him. And he was my position coach as a linebacker. He was our defensive coordinator. So I had to deal with him every day. What
was the moment that you realized, like, this fucking guy?
Oh, like one of the first workouts.
Really?
Like one of the first workouts.
You remember what it was?
I was like, so I get to Kings. I'm like the strongest guy on the team. I played linebacker in college. When I played, I was like 30 pounds heavier with my shoulders and my ears in college. I was like the strongest guy on the team. But nothing I did
shoulders in my ears.
Nothing I did was ever enough. And I'm like, man, why can't you see the work I'm putting in and what I'm doing? I'm stronger than all these other people, yet you're telling me that I need to do more and be more. And I realized that he saw who I could become, not who I was that day. And you don't compare yourself to that where you don't even want to go. You compare yourself to the journey you actually want to go on. That's what he was doing to me, but I couldn't get past it because I was still running from something. I wasn't running toward anything. I was running from my past, and I get here, and I know I'm one of the best football players on that team. I know that I'm the strongest guy in the weight room, which is important in football. So I ran from where I had to be better to be there. And he still wanted that. And that drove that initial wedge.
Okay.
So anyways, time goes on. I have a good freshman year there. I battled some injuries, but I played through it. I started every game, which was awesome, and developed some amazing relationships. Over time, I realized this with Coach that like he wanted me to step into my potential, not coast where I was. And that's the best thing that, I mean, almost anyone's ever done for me. But I was pre-med, and into my sophomore year, I realized grades are good. Football's good, even though me and Coach are battling a little bit. But I still just couldn't put my finger on it. Like, I'm not happy on the path I'm going. Not with football. It's something with my career. So I tell my dad, tell my parents. My dad was like, he was so understanding. And he said to me, he's like, I don't care if you're a doctor like me. I just care that you go on a path that you can build the life that you want and be successful. So he says, I'm footing the bill for college, which he was, and I'm so grateful forever for that. So because I'm footing the bill, you ain't going to school undecided. You're going to figure out what you're doing, and this semester upcoming, we're going to change what track you're on. Because this was in between a break, like a Christmas break that's like a month. It was like during this that I told my dad. Or it was actually a summer break now that I'm thinking back to it. But when we started having these conversations, it was around the winter. So he introduces me to 3 different people. One of them, guy in marketing. Next one was to his financial advisor, Timmy Lavelle. Timmy's local guy from music. And Timmy had managed my parents' money forever, other people in my family. And I talked to Timmy, and he says, and I ask him, like, what does it mean to be a financial advisor? We're talking, I'm driving around, cold January night. And Timmy says to me, he's like, Doc, or he calls me Little Doc. He's like, Little Doc, let me break it down for you like this. There's 3 things we all think about before we go to sleep. Number 1, did I hurt anybody today? And if I did, I could pray about it. I could talk to a friend, whatever I need to do to make my mind right. Number 2, am I healthy? Or is my family healthy? If you're not, if they're not, who do you call? The doctor. And he's like, kid, that's your dad. He's the second thing people think about before they go to bed. And then his voice got low, way softer. And he says, the third thing we think about just before we go to bed, just before you shut your eyes, can I pay my bills? Am I doing the right things with my money for my family? Are we going to be okay in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 10 years by where we're putting money today? He said, I'm the third thing people think about before they go to bed. Who do you want to be? And now I'm driving my Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm like 50 miles an hour on Main Street in Taylor, I think. And I'm like, I don't even know what you do still, but I want to be you. So at that moment, I realized I could impact people like my dad as a doctor, still create a good life for myself and make a good living, but just in a different way. Mm-hmm. And that was my sophomore year of college. Timmy started mentoring me then, what classes to take, what to do to be ready to become a financial advisor. And he probably became, around that time in my life, Timmy and Coach Zabrowski became the 2 biggest figures in my life besides my dad that I would never be where I am without them.
It's amazing when the right people come into your life at the right time.
God's a funny guy.
It is. It is.
Timmy always says that to me. God's a funny guy.
God is a funny guy.
And it holds true, man.
And sometimes, there's the opposite too. Sometimes, the devil likes to put stuff into your playground too. It's like, where'd that come from? Mm-hmm. It's like that looks nice over there, but sometimes you got to be like, no, I'm just not going to go over there right now. I know what that feels like. There's nothing better than a good coach in your life. Nothing. And I have them. I have a bunch of them from jiu-jitsu and everything like that. And they're my best friends. I work for them. You know what I mean? Like Good Tree, Frank, Tom, Tyler, Jess, Rocco, all these guys that are at the gym all the time putting the work in. I mean, Rocco, you know what I mean? Like he tried to get me to join him training years before I started doing it. I just wouldn't do it because I was living my life at the time, the way I was living my life. The last thing I needed to do was that. But then you fast forward years later, and I'm in recovery for years, and then Rocco finally goes, listen, there's a seminar Sunday. Meet me there. You're coming there. You're coming there with me. So I went there, and I did it. I ended up joining, and the rest is history, but it changed my life. But it's opportunities where you keep on going, and your friends are constantly writing you, let's go. And if I never went, I never would have did it. And I wouldn't be sitting here on this podcast talking to you.
Yeah.
You had your shift that brought you here. I had my shift that brought me here. And, I mentioned to you, I was going to bring it up. We're talking about finances. Then we're going to get to the point where you switch your major, get into your career, and you're at now. When I separated in a relationship years ago, I had to get out, and I was not in the financial position to do that because it was a 2-income house, and I was just rebuilding things. Right? All of a sudden, life is like, no, this relationship is over. I had to move out. I'll go from being engaged to being single and not having a place to stay. I didn't want to stay there anymore, even though I was for a little while. And then, then all of a sudden people start reaching out. Hey, my buddy Dylan's like, hey, you go stay in my place in Pittston. No one's living there yet. Just throw me a couple bucks. I did that for a few months. That allowed me to get some money to put away for apartments. You know how everything's costing a fucking fortune these days. And then I was looking at places. It's like, if I can even afford that, if I can even do that, that place looks terrible. How is that place that much? How does this place look like the pictures are all photoshopped? How is this even possible, right? And I found the place. I'm in Kingston now, right? But I move in there. Now I'm broke for a year. I was broke for a year. Now, I made good money at work, but I was falling behind. And I worked for sales. 1 or 2 bad months, that puts your average down. You know what I'm talking about? Puts your average down. Mm-hmm. And I was still perfecting my art as a salesman, which is a new career for me for the last couple of years, and there were some scary nights. There were some times where I'm laying in bed, I'm like, I can't pay my bills tomorrow. And, I don't know if it was lucky or whatever, because I was able to come out of it, but I was like, all right, man, if I have to live, I happen to have good credit. And I'm like, I have to do what I have to do. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to continue investing on what I'm building, because that's where Food Fight got in trouble. That's when it became like, there were times where I wasn't able to go do a review, and it's hard for me to talk about it because it upsets me. You know what I mean? I let myself get to that point. But I always think about this too when I wake up. I'm like, man, I go 10 years ago, you were broke 10 years ago too, but you did that on purpose. I mean, I could have bought a house. Other money I spent on drugs and those activities in my life. Everyone trying to help me. I don't want to hear anyone. I think about that, and that brings me back. I'm like, listen, if I got to put the groceries on the credit card this week, so be it. I will get this taken care of. And battling, that was my fight for life, man. I go quietly, like a few friends knew about it, but it's hard for me to ask for financial help with people. And I was able to do this and do that. But then I got that phone call over the summer here for a sponsor, and then another sponsor, then another sponsor. And then things shift here at Conversion Works with Frank and everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a reason that I'm doing this. And I've suffered before. Me suffering, I wouldn't consider my financial status suffering, because I suffered as an addict. I suffered in recovery when I was in that way. It's a whole different type of suffering. It's a mental, scary survival. What are the few things we need in life, Mando? What's the first thing we need to worry about? Shelter, food and water, and then the world is the way the world is. We need money to survive. It's, money's not the root to happiness, but it makes things a lot happier in a way. It makes things safer. And it was scary. And then I have a good month at work. Okay, I'm great. But then another bad month at work. And it's just the nature of the business. You know what I mean? And that's just 1 or 2 sales being off from a bonus or whatever. But I finally said to myself, I go, this credit card debt is fucking insane to me right now. It's insane. So I shopped around for a consolidation personal loan. And the only thing that got me that, because the minimum payments were insane on the credit cards, but I was able to make them. I made sure I did that, because the last thing I needed to do was be in debt and have bad credit. Was my credit the best because of the amounts that were on that credit card? No, they were going down, but it got me a good rate, and it got me a consolidation loan. I cut my payments in half. Now they're controlled, and I can finally get the rest of my stuff in order. But holy shit, you know what happens? And you know it, with credit card debt, you're using your credit card and it's got a $1,000 balance on it with a $10,000 limit, and you're at $1,000. It's not too bad. Keep using it. Then it gets, it's $1,500 now. Fuck it. What's the point of stopping? Then that gets you to $2,000. Then you stop for a little while. Then you start using it again, and it's like, well, fuck it. It's already at $2,000. Why not $3,000? Why not $4,000?
Here's the trap. I've got a $2,000 balance on the credit card. Oh, I could pay it off. I got $5,000 in checking. Minimum payment's only $70. Make the minimum payment. That's what I'm supposed to make. That's what most people believe, and that's what the credit card companies want you to believe. Mm-hmm. The interest rate's 30%. So if you have a $2,000 balance, you're going to pay $600 in interest. $2,000. What did it buy you? Maybe some concert tickets, pair of shoes, gas a couple weeks.
A Vegas trip.
You went to dinner a couple nights, and you just spent $600 extra on a pair of shoes, concert tickets, and a couple nights at dinner. What is that? Like, I'd rather you tip the $600 to the server that waited on you at dinner then pay that to the credit card
I know,
company
man.
for nothing other than I didn't know I should pay the balance and not just what the company says the minimum payment is.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
Want to hear another one? That,
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is
Let's get
this
into
is
it.
another trap I
Yeah.
see. People have $1,000 on the card, right? They could pay it off. $10,000 limit. They start looking at the limit as their emergency fund. An emergency fund for when the rainy day hits is the cash you keep in your savings account.
Yes.
An emergency
Yes.
fund is not a credit card limit.
I treat the credit card as a survival limit.
That's like you have no
I had
other
no
option.
I didn't. It was either
and-
either borrow money from somebody, which I didn't want to do, but I knew I could if I needed to. I'm like, I'm not there yet. I will pay this off. And luckily, the path I put myself on, as much as maybe I didn't start that way, it got to me where I needed to get to.
It's about changing the behavior.
Yeah. In the rainy day fund, the savings, right? I bought a new car, put my down payment on my Amazon card, I did this and that. I just paid it off. Full balance, no interest. I got $50 in points. That's how you would.
Boom.
That was my initial investment like 10 years ago. I'm like, I'll just get the Amazon card and use the points. Yeah. You pay the interest got so crazy. Like I took a credit card out and it was deferred interest for 18 months. Mm-hmm. That's where that one got crazy. The interest came out. That's what I got the loan the next day because the interest was $200. $200. The payment was $300 a month. The interest was $200.
Oh yeah.
Then there was a few other interest things. So you pay off the minimum. You're paying off what, $20?
Paying the minimum payment, the math will be subject to change based on the actual card and nuances.
Sure.
But I have seen cases where if you just pay your minimum payment on your credit card and don't put more money on it, it actually will be like 27 years till you pay that off. Like something
They
insane.
they show you that on the statement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought furniture for my place and I financed it at the store. I've been paying like 3 times the amount of the minimum. I get like a $5 interest charge on my bill. So it's almost paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll give you 0% on that for a certain amount of time too.
Exactly.
So like with stuff like that, good. 0% when you leverage stuff like that, you got to have discipline to do it financially. I always tell people when they ask me, but if you're buying a $5,000 couch, don't go buy the $15,000 couch that is, first of all, it's like having a used car in your living room. Let's be real. But don't go buy the $15,000 couch when your budget was $5,000 just because on the $15,000 couch, they're going to give you 0% for 2 years.
Right.
That's the mistake people make. And that's where they silently lose wealth because they spend more due to favorable financing terms.
I see your posts. I see them every day. And it's you have to want to change just like you wanted to change your path. I wanted to change my life years ago. I want to change the way I spend money, the way I look at money. You can't look at the credit card as an emergency fund. It was survival for me.
Right.
Now, with zero balances, it's there if I need it. I'm not going to Florida. My boys everyone's going to Florida in the month. Going to Florida the last few years for a tournament and go to Disney World. I'm not going this year because I'm doing something else with I'm paying other things off. I'm like, I don't have $1,500 for a vacation this year in cash. I had it on the credit card last year, but I'm done making that mistake because you're on vacation. You're like, well, I'm going to enjoy myself. I already spent.
That's the step.
Oh man,
that's the step people won't take though, because they care more about the image that they uphold than they do how they actually put their head on the pillow at night and feel.
I'm talking about it because people need to hear about it. Just like
They do.
I talk about my recovery and whatever else, your struggles, my struggles. People need to hear about it. Like, yeah, Food Fight's doing great right now. You know what I mean? But it's just starting to like. It's starting to take off a little bit more. You know, we're entering into the championship rounds, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's consistency. And I fucking love it.
And on that, Brian, first off, like awesome for you and like major kudos for that. Second, on that point, you know, you talk about the image people want to portray and keeping up with the Joneses, like you hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, oh, I can't not go on that trip with my friends, even though I don't have enough money right now, or it's I'm making my first big purchase of a home and I buy the biggest home I could get that they'll approve me for a mortgage, or same with a car, I buy the best car I could get that they'll approve me for. these are the things that if you take a different path with how you actually approach them, the order in which you do things is critical with money.
Mm-hmm.
So don't buy the biggest, buy a little smaller. Or like with me and my wife did, we bought a 3-unit, lived in the main unit, rented the others. Now our next house, we buy a little bit smaller than, we bought half of what we were approved for. Then we finally close on the dream home this year. And thank you again for congratulating me. But you don't see those little steps we took up into that point to get there that even set us up for that.
Yeah. That's like that one, you mentioned the diamond meme. You ever see the one with like the water, the iceberg? Oh, just a little tip, but then everything else underneath that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when people say to you, oh, it must be nice. And you have no idea what it's been, but what I went through for this to be nice. Instead of being like, congratulations, I'm proud of you. It's awesome. How'd you do that?
You know what I say? Must be nice. It is.
Yeah.
It actually is nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so nice 5 to 9 a.m., 5 to 9 p.m., because most people for their dreams, they'll work 9 to 5, even entrepreneurs and business owners. But what's your 5 to 9? Like, and is it extreme? Is it an obsession? Yeah. But if you want a life that is extreme and something that average people do not get, that live how 99% of people live, which nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But I'm talking to people who don't want that. You have to be extreme. You have to be obsessed, or else you just won't get there.
You got to hustle.
Yeah, man.
The hustle gets you to where you want to be, and then, hustle changes, but it's still always going to be a hustle.
And it doesn't need to be forever.
Right.
That's the other part. It doesn't need to be forever. There's a saying I love. 2 hard years of hard work will set up your next 20.
Yeah, 100%. Same in recovery. It's not easy now, but 3-4 months from now, you're going to look back and be like, wow, look how far I've come in just 3-4 months, then 3 years, then 6 years, then 10 years. And it's like, I can't even believe I lived that life. Do you think back now, let's finish your origin story for your career. So do you ever think back like, I absolutely made the right decision? Do you think about being a doctor?
I don't think there's right or wrong decisions. I think there's only decisions and we make them right or wrong.
I like that.
There's only decisions and we make them right or wrong. So I could have went pre-med and finished that path and figured it out, because I did get my grades up. I would have been all right, and I would have done it and been mentored by my dad directly in business and taken his practice over probably. On the other hand, I prioritized football, loved it. Mentored by Timmy, who was amazing for me and still is. I come out and like, in this business and financial services, I have gone to heights that I never even saw for myself, honestly, and just expanded my mind so much that I'm so grateful for the path I went on. And now, man, the opportunity I'm able to afford for other people, I mean, the clients' lives I'm able to change based on what they do with their money. My staff, who I'm able to pay more than they've ever made before and continue to push the business forward. So I'm like, man, I want to pay them more. I want them to experience more success, and I want to be the one who can facilitate that. Because when you have this obsessiveness about what you're building, we talked before about your vision being big enough that it contains the other people around you who are in your journey. I have such a responsibility on my shoulders that I feel I have a gift from God that I know how to create opportunity. I feel this very strongly in my heart. I don't think everybody has that gift, but I think everybody has a gift, whatever that is, and they have their role. That's why businesses have certain people in certain roles. Sports teams have certain people in certain roles. With that gift I've been given to think big and to create opportunity, I want to be able to afford that to other people, like my team, like my family, like my friends. And man, that's what drives me so much, that I look back on that path and that change that I don't regret it.
I love it.
I mean, I said before, I have that regret in a vacuum, but that's in the micro level. On the macro level, you just got to make the decisions right at the end of the day.
I regret quitting football in high school. I still think about it once in a while, Mando, but it's one of the smaller regrets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real quick, you said vision big enough to fit everybody in it. I don't know if you said that before. If you did, it didn't hit like it hit this time, but I love that, because some people are one-sided. They only care about themselves. They want to bring people into their lives to help build themselves up, not build them up. And I've been there before. And what coaching jiu-jitsu has done for me has been, it's selfless because I have to sit there and explain to, like last night, a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old how to throw proper punches because they have to hold the pads because we're having the little kids try to learn how to hold the pads. It's hysterical, right? But the one girl just keeps on throwing the right hand. I'm like, listen, we're throwing the right and we're throwing the left. She just keeps on going like this. It was firing me up. And I know how to talk to the kids, but I'll be frank. I'm like, are you doing that on purpose because you're firing me up? Because I'm not doing that. I'm showing you one arm and one. Her parents are just like right there, and they're laughing because I'm getting a little fired up. You know what I mean? Because she just keeps on throwing the one. I go no. I go like this. I go, am I doing that right? Or you put your left foot forward. They put their right foot. I'm just like so. It has taught me patience because that's the one thing parents be like, you are patient. I'm like, I have to be, but don't forget either though. I'm only here for an hour with the kids. I know in 20 minutes. That these kids won't be busting my balls anymore, right? But in that meantime, it's my job and it's my passion to help get these kids on the right path. You know what I mean? They come in, they're trouble. They have, they don't, they're on the tablets too much. They have autism. They have ADHD. You know what I mean? Adults are the same way. Jiu-jitsu did what for me. It calmed me down. You know what I mean? And when it comes to the kids, it's my job to do that. And it's very rewarding, just like you're watching over your team. And that all comes down to what you just said, a vision big enough to fit your friends and your family, your whole team into it.
So let me give you this. And here's a part 2 to that. Lay all your problems out on this table, right? We're looking at them. They're all on the table. You can solve every single one of those if you solve other people's problems in your life. You solve enough other people's problems and create enough value for the people around you, every single one of those laid out on the table solves themselves.
Go into that a little bit more.
So I have very blessed. We have a little over 100 clients our team works with right now. If I can solve the problems of my clients, whatever they're facing, it's funny how my problems naturally solve themselves in business. Okay. Because I'm creating value in their life. Their life gets easier as a result of directly working with us. That's going to create more revenue in the business. The business grows. And now that bleeds over to my team who I can pay more money, to other people who I can hire in the business and provide an opportunity to. That's one example in a vacuum, right? You could go to the level of a relationship. Me and my wife. Say me and my wife are having a fight or something's going on with us or we have issues. Well, I can bet that there may be some problem in her life that can I solve that will make her life easier, that thing has been a blockage in a problem I'm experiencing as a result. So I'm a firm believer that if you can solve the problems of the people around you, your problems naturally will solve themselves.
Okay. That makes sense to me now. I like that a lot. I'm going to pivot into health a little bit.
Let's do it.
All right. I was reading an article about living to 140 years old. All right. The article, it mainly said about it's not your diet. It's not your lifestyle. It's not anything you do in your life with blah, blah, like stuff like that. It's how much stress, how much chronic stress do you put on yourself on a daily basis? You're a financial advisor. Mm-hmm. People used to jump off roofs in that business. How do you deal with stress every day?
This is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
There are two things always. There's our controllables and our uncontrollables. Our approach when I work with a client, number one, I think, why would someone in this business get stressed? Well, you have a client who's angry at you because you're managing their money and not doing as they want. And now that's bleeding over to, oh man, they're going to leave me and I'm going to lose my clients. And then now I'm going to make less money and I'm going to have to close my business. And then I'm going to lose my house and I'm going to be out on the streets and
storm has come
and everything's done. That's like where our mind goes though. We overthink into negativity. Why not overthink into positivity? Number one, which we'll bookmark that for a second. But with our clients, I approach it like this, and I'm very clear upfront with every client that works with us. Expectations are key, not just in business, but in life. Expectations are key. I talk to them just like this, Brian. I'll say, Brian, when you work with us, I'm going to push you. We're going to move. you're going to have to catch up to me sometimes, because ultimately I know if you take the advice I give you, I'm not here to guarantee that you're going to get ultra wealthy from what I tell you, but I'm here to guarantee that you will never be poor, and we will remove every risk that is present from your situation. So all you need to continue to do is keep your job, continue to make money, and be able to keep a level of discipline around your spending. If you implement everything else at a very minimum, I will guarantee you get to where you go. The only cost you'll ever face with me is potential opportunity cost on top of that. Is that a fair promise to make if I could guarantee that we hit your goals? Absolutely. Everybody's going to want that. So that weeds out the people who they're shopping around of that guy got 1% more in the market. That guy's got some fancy tax thing that I never heard of before. And now the clients are hopping from person to person. When a client chooses to work with us, that is all set up front. So I don't have stress with the people I work with because they have the bigger picture in mind, which I've worked hard to learn this and qualify that. But the bigger picture in mind of ultimately, we have a lifestyle we want to live. We have things we want to do for ourselves, our family, and other people. If I can guarantee that that happens, what is a couple extra $100,000? What is a couple extra $1 million that's only going to get passed down and inherited by someone else? What does that really mean to me? I don't want to work with greedy people. I want to work with people who love their family and care about their family and want to plan for more than just themselves. So people that have that mentality, they're the best in the world to work with. And that's why on my career, my job as a financial advisor, I don't stress about things like that for that reason. And quite frankly, I used to early because I didn't have this perspective. But even now I'm like, if someone does slip through the door that kind of is that way, I'll fire the client. I mean, talk about one of the most liberating things I've ever done is firing the client. And there's no dollar amount is worth working with someone like that.
You're not wrong. You're paying a little extra for peace of mind. That's important. It's invaluable. Invaluable. We don't let any jerk offs in the gym. It's a jiu-jitsu gym. It's an MMA gym. There's egos all over the place, right? People get into it. Not just regular training. You played football. You played sports. I'm sure you got into fights with some of your best friends on the field. And then you're eating pizza or having a beer afterwards, right? Yeah. But then there's the bad ones, like you said, that bad client that you had to fire, pain in your ass, not worth your aggravation anymore. Probably 2, 3 a.m. text messages, all that bullshit. You know what I mean? You don't need that aggravation. We don't run into much trouble at the gym, but there's been people they're just not right for the community. Now, not saying that the gym is open to people that in recovery, looking to get sober. Anyone that's in any type of, rough relationships. Our door's open for any type of person to come in, and we could be the outlet for you guys or you girls to come in, be in a safe spot and get some aggression out. I get rid of my stress by choking somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? I get to do that legally, arm bars, and then people choke me too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's days where, I'm the hammer, and there's days where I'm the nails every single fucking round. You know what I mean? And that's what makes you getting beat up. It makes you better. It makes you better. Yeah. Seeing clients like you had to deal with and everything that you built. And then you listen to the haters in the comments about things that you put in your life and people that, he didn't work for it. This, that, family, bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. The people that say that have their own fucking problems and their own things they're dealing with, and we're not the problem.
Sometimes you got to know what you don't want to understand what you do. And in business, I think with clients, that's a great example. Mm-hmm. And to your point, like that doesn't mean that I'm too good for anybody. That's not the case. I got 2 requirements if you want to talk to our team to work with us. Are you willing to be coached? And do you love someone else and care about them in your planning?
Love that.
If that's the case, if you have those 2 boxes checked, usually that means you're not a narcissist and self-centered.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to be coached, that's all we need, because ultimately we are going to show you advice that you can't lose if you implement it, because our job is literally to take the risks off the table. Mm-hmm. So anyways, a little bit on that.
Yeah. It gets you going sometimes.
Yeah, man.
It gets you going sometimes.
And on that other point, like, because you did mention that people who will see someone who's successful and be like, oh, it's because you had this advantage. you started life on third base. I'll get this because my dad's a doctor. And I laugh when I get stuff like that because then I think about, okay, so you talk about these celebrities who have these kids who are burnouts and you defame them, talk down on them in every which way. But then you have someone who started with some sort of advantage in a good spot with a loving family who's doing well for themselves, but you don't like that either. So people are just going to find a way to talk about you no matter what side you are.
And that's on them.
It is.
That's what they're dealing with, and hopefully they can get better. Because I used to be there too. I used to be the
It's
punk.
sad. It's sad.
You were
man.
the punk kid in East Stroudsburg at 18 years old. I mean, it's growing pains. I was a punk for a very long time. I was a punk in high school. I was always respectful to who I wanted to be respectful to.
Right.
And I caused trouble when I wanted to. I didn't want to be in school, so I was bored, and I lashed out. And then I was jerking, and then I got caught up with other stuff. You know what I mean? But here I'm 45 years old. I'm be 45 in August, and I just feel like my life has just begun about a year ago. I really feel that way. I'm energized every day on it. And I try to keep up with all these young kids at the gym, all this stuff like that. But I have to realize that, a 25-year-old blue belt who's high level may get me once in a while. And I'd rather just tap than have my arms snapped. But it's hard sometimes when because you're like this. You're like, I'm not letting this kid tap me out. And it's like, okay, I got loose. Then you walk away. You're like, wow, that was fucking stupid. I'm at the point now where I told Tyler, who's my friend and my coach, he owns the school. I go, I'm transitioning out of competition right now. I have so much going on with food fight. I want to be. It's a new year with the gym, and we're busy. I want to focus more on that. I want to beat my numbers from last year, and I have the Dancing Stars. Oh, fucking A. I have the Dancing Stars coming up, and which you are very, very familiar with.
Yeah.
I always forget, we'll close out on that.
Yeah.
And but then I have all this other stuff coming up, and when I am training for competitions, my mind is not focused on a lot of other stuff. It's focused on the pain I'm in, the coaching, getting yelled at, all type of stuff. Not in a bad way, but there's Coach Tyler and there's Professor Tyler. Yeah. And they're two different people. And if you play sports and you're competition, you know the difference. And I'm not in the mood for that right now. I want to roll and have fun because I train better when I'm not training for a competition. So, but yeah, Dancing Stars coming up. Dancing Stars of Wilkes-Barre coming up, man. It's
You pumped?
You motivated me. I couldn't wait to come see you last year. It was fantastic. And I was like, I remember standing there, and Chris Bohinski walks by me. He goes, "Why aren't you dancing?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'll fucking do it next year." So whatever happened this whole year, and I got the call, and I just met my partner Heather last night. Mm-hmm. We went over there. We have our opening dialogue set. I cannot disclose it on the show.
Yep.
And I have my first 15 steps.
Boom.
And when we went through the first opening of it, I'm like, I could do this. And she also made a point too. She goes, "This is all about you. I'm just there to help you." I go, she goes, "I'm here to make you look good." I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as me and her. She's spotlighting herself, and I'm spotlighting myself. But it turned into we're spotlighting. She's all about spotlighting me, and I love that because she's into it. I'm into it. You know what I mean? I told her, I go, "Listen, I just don't want to embarrass myself." And I'm not sure which one I'm more nervous about, doing the ring announcing. I haven't said it yet on the show, but we're getting there. So March 7th, I will be at Mohegan, Pennsylvania, announcing the fights. Chris Coyne reached out to me. More to come. Hopefully we're gonna have some boxers on the show possibly as well. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure which one I'm nervous about. Probably the ring announcing because that's my world. That's my world I'm entering. And I'm not afraid of getting into the ring in front of the people because there's gonna be lights on me. I'm not gonna worry about that. I want to make sure that these guys are announced properly. That's all. It's not like their first time getting announced, but I want to it's my job to make them get pumped up for their fight.
Yeah. And
I'm sure that I've never been announced before. So I'm assuming you're in the corner getting ready for a boxing match and you're announced in the ring. It's a pretty cool fucking moment.
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's right.
I think back to the sports days, and I think the best thing, no matter what you lead up to when you're announcing them, I think the best thing, Brian, is like whenever someone carries out your name. You know what I mean? I think that there's something about that just fires you up.
Yes. Money, Mando Sallavanti.
Exactly.
I gave Gianna Gali. She was here. You know, she done WRA. Gianna up at 3. Golly, and then like her last name asked for it. It's like golly, like, you know what I mean? Like up at 3, you know what I mean? It was fucking great. And I was here early. I didn't care about any questions or any conversation. All I wanted to do was nail the opening. It was good. It was good.
Oh yeah.
My buddy Tyler was on the last show. He came on. He sat here. He did the opening. You gotta watch it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It came out good, Brian. Yeah, it came out really good.
Yeah.
On Dancing Stars, though, I will tell you this. One of the most uncomfortable things I've ever done to learn through, I was in the same way when I started. I'm like, I just don't want to embarrass myself. We got about 2 weeks out from the competition. I'm like, we got to go win this thing. We ended up not winning. But besides the point, I was like, this is fun. Like, you're going to go through that. You're going to be like, it's like, and then you're going to get to the point where you're like, man, this is so fun. Like, I just want to keep doing this. And it really was like the euphoric like high after you do perform and you nail it. Like, man, I'm glad I did it because it was so different and so out of my comfort zone. Everyone in my life would have told you that like they couldn't believe that I was doing it. Everyone thought I was joking when I told them, and it ended up being a really great thing.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it. And then she goes to me and she tells me, she goes, so when you get on stage, there's gonna be about 10, 15 seconds where you have to hype the crowd up. I'm like, I could do that. So I'm going to scream.
Easy.
I'm just going to scream, be like, food fights at the Dancing Stars of Wilkes-Barre. I'm just going to scream it. It's going to be perfect. That's how I open up everything. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to it, man. You got any inside tips for me?
Inside tips. What would I tell you? Man, I think it's gonna depend, but the footwork was key, right? I think the footwork was key.
Yeah.
My football days came in handy for the footwork.
Okay.
I will say, I'm like, now I understand why people used to say football players would take ballroom dancing.
Yes.
Anyways, though, you got to get the crowd going. That's a big one. I think that's the biggest, right? Because it comes down for the competition. You have the one, whoever raises the most money is the one winner. And then the other winner, you have the judges' scores. So you got to play the judges up a little bit too in the dance. You got to, I'm sure Heather already has some things
I'm going to work
planned,
on that.
But that's a big one as well.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be March 28th. Tickets are currently on sale. So we're going to be supporting the Kiss Kiss Theater. So, it's fundraiser for the kids. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to stop by?
I should be. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't think I have any travel for anything planned then. So I should be.
Yeah, I get it. Kirby Center is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the first time I was ever in it.
That was the first time I was ever in it too. I'm not even joking either.
I walk in there, I'm like, wow.
It was nice.
Then
it was nice.
The one thing that I didn't like was I needed to go back out to the car. She goes, you can't come back in if you go outside. I go, what do you mean I can't come? Why? Why can't I go back outside and come back in? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Kirby Center, explain to me why I couldn't leave.
Change your rules.
It was the beginning, too. The show didn't even start yet. I need to go back out to the car to get something. Like, you can't come back in. What if I left something important? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was a great time. Beautiful place. I don't understand that, but it was a beautiful place. The food was good. I had a good time. Wilkes-Barre's, that square is nice.
Yeah.
We grew up in Scranton. I was always Scranton. Now I'm down here in Kingston in the Valley. It's like, it's a whole different world down here.
Scranton's made a pretty good comeback last few years too.
It'll always be home. I'm up there now. I'm doing more reviews. So it's up in the Moscow area doing reviews. Draft Sports Bar, Ferry's Pizza, a few other places. Pappy's Pizza there. Pappy's it was called. What a great place. This is fucking good food everywhere, Mando.
Yeah.
All right, man. I got the pizza guy coming in next. I gotta make some space. Did you bring some Old Force pizza?
I didn't bring anything. No, I didn't bring anything.
It's all good, man.
Up in Scranton now, man.
I'm so glad that you're by the lake too. It's beautiful up there.
Right on it.
Yeah,
right on it.
Oh, it's
Dude,
even better.
That sunrise over the lake, can't beat it.
I bet that's priceless.
It is.
I bet that's priceless. I'm starting to camp up at Captain's now, Harvey's Lake. I'm gonna put my spot up. I'm gonna try to stay up there for this. I want to live up in the Harvey's Lake for the summer. Not actually
beautiful area,
but it'll be nice to just to hang out on the lake and maybe do some one-off events. It'd be a good time. Maybe people won't fucking drown me in the lake. Yeah, you know what I mean? I will be at the Wyoming Valley Mall, February 21st, at about 11 or 12 p.m. for a fundraiser for the American Heart Association. You can throw a pie in my face.
11 p.m. at night. It's
excuse me, 11 a.m.
I was going to say.
Thank you for correcting that. Yeah.
I was like, is this like an overnight thing?
Yeah, about 11 a.m. The more details to come, but you could line up for charity. You could throw a pie in my face. I'm sure there's going to be a few people that are going to be there. I mean, I might need a bodyguard.
A true food fight.
That's a true food fight. Mando, before we close out, tell all of the listeners where they can come find you, come see you.
Best place to find me is LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. My handle on Instagram is Money with Mando. So Money Mando was a good nickname call out there by Brian. But yeah, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Mando Sallavanti, Mando Sallavanti. I'm sure Brian will link it in the notes.
100%.
Give me a search.
Fantastic, bro. I'm so glad we got together and the scheduling was not a problem, man. It's one of our Fight for Life episodes. And like I said, we're far enough apart in age that we weren't in the same circles back in the day in town. You know, two different generations in a way. But when you're from Old Forge, you always know each other.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. There could be a pizza festival coming to town. I'll tell you more about off the air, just in case. You know what I mean? All right, give me a second, okay? All right. Thank you for listening to the DiMattia's Food Fight podcast. I want to thank all my listeners, and I want to thank all my sponsors. Mando, I told you, our Carolyn Janelles is one of my table sponsors. Angelo, he wanted to leave a legacy for himself and his family. He goes, I'll put my sauce in a jar. That will do it. He cracks me up because when they were done, he's like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. And Amanda's like, it's too late. But that was a nice jar of sweet sauce for you to take home with you.
Oh, there we go.
Fantastic.
I'll take that guy.
I want to thank Key Fort of Exeter for being our new head sponsor for this show as well. They're looking to reconnect with the community, and we're doing that one food fight at a time. Please look out for our first review coming out probably right around this time of this episode with Antonio's and Pittston. They had a new sweet sauce. Captain's up at Harvey's Lake. I'm going to post a video of their game room downstairs. Were you up there? You just saw the place, right?
No, I just saw your post about it.
Just the inside of the bar and then the game room downstairs, and it's wintertime. He has pavilion outside, all types of stuff. It looks like the place to be up there in the summertime, and I may be doing some guest bartending up there. That'd be interesting. Got to brush off the old bartending days and go up there. All right, man?
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Dude, appreciate you.
All right,
been
brother.
A blast.
Food fight. All right, man. Awesome.